We have surveys being forced onto people's land before the project has even been approved or even really analyzed at the Public Service Commission. So it is another example of like the system isn't working.
Tensions around the controversial transmission line are escalating tonight. Now the developers say they're being threatened by landowners, so much so they filed a motion in court asking for help from the U.S. Marshals to finish land surveys on some properties. Fox 45's Jessica Babb is showing us the latest in the fight over the project.
You're all gonna die in.
Thank you.
You're all greedy.
Thank you for that.
A moment of frustration and fury, and residents fuming as transmission line surveyors step on their land.
You want a lawsuit?
The escalating feud between landowners and the developers of the controversial 67-mile line is much like the high-voltage project they're trying to build, charged and full of energy. Which is why the developers, PSEG, are now filing a motion in federal court asking for U.S. Marshals to accompany them to 6 properties along the route to complete land surveys. After getting a court order, PSEG is doing these surveys, trying to get state approval for the proposed Maryland-Piedmont Reliability Project. And while many landowners have been complying with the court, PSEG argues others are standing in the way.
So we have folks that are frightened because they're afraid they're going to lose their land. They're frustrated with the overall process, and they're being put in an untenable position.
In this 28-page motion, PSEG argues there have been continuing threats of violence, like this letter from one landowner saying there's a shoot first, ask questions later attitude, where uninvited strangers typically regret their decision. Others also making it clear they have a gun and will shoot. Even this sign saying prayer is the best way to meet the Lord, trespassing is the fastest. On social media, PSEG has called out a long list of comments.
We're out in Baltimore County today as surveyors are accessing people's private property,
some of which appear under a Fox 45 post of our previous coverage. Joanne Frederick, the president of the Stop MPRP community group, says,
We've repeatedly asked folks to not threaten violence, to not use violent words, to not, sort of attack the folks that are simply doing their job in our area. None of us like this, but the way to fight this is not through threats of violence, etc.
In court documents, PSEG argues law enforcement not getting involved has also posed a problem. Back in April, they requested scheduling off-duty Maryland state troopers for overtime assignments to provide an area presence for surveyors. That request was denied.
But I will stand with the landowners in this county and resist this project every single step of the way till the bitter end.
Around the same time, sheriff's offices, like in Carroll County, made it clear they wouldn't be enforcing the court order. PSEG argues some people took that as endorsements of lawlessness. In response, Sheriff DeWeese says he believes it's a gross misuse of federal law enforcement resources should the administration approve using U.S. Marshals. He says MPRP is a private entity and using federal law enforcement is not appropriate. He says his office will continue to stay out of it and let the courts handle it.
Let's draw attention to the fact that the system is failing and it's the little person paying the price, but we're not helpless in this situation. We have to use our voice and amplify really what's happening here, but using that to threaten someone who's simply doing their job is really not an acceptable way for anyone to deal with this issue.
Jessica Babb, Fox 45 News.
Hi, I'm Maxine Stryker. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel and check out Fox Baltimore on social media to find more stories like this.